This video is meant to provide you with an overview of the tools and resources available to help your practice choose measures for the Medicaid Alternative Payment Model, or APM. Let's start with where all of the information lives, the Department of Healthcare Policy and Financing's website. To get to the APM web page, select For Our Stakeholders. Next, click on Committee, Boards, and Collaboration, and then scroll down to Primary Care Payment Reform. Click on the link. On the Primary Care Payment Reform webpage, you will find the Alternative Payment Model Excel workbook and a link to a survey from the department where you can select your measures. Additionally, the Primary Care Payment Reform webpage is where all resources for the APM live, from how the APM was developed to the measure specification sheets. Let's go ahead and open the model. Click on the link to open a version for yourself. Think of the Excel workbook as your scratch paper, and let's go ahead and get started. You will see that 3 tabs are on the bottom. First, Instructions, second, PC APM 1, and lastly, Measure Details. Let's start with tab 3, Measure Details. Here you will find more detailed information on measures and the department's goals for ECQM and claims performance measures. These are the goals that practices will be measured against. Let's go to tab number 2. Here is the model. The top box is where you can keep track of the number of measures selected, points, and estimated earned enhancement. We'll begin at the beginning and end at the end. Let's start with number 1. Here is where you will select your measures. Remember, practices must select 10 measures from any mix of structural, ECQM, or claims measures. Keep in mind that to earn the full enhancement available, a practice must hit 190 points. You can select 10 measures that add up to more than 190 points, and you may want to do that to increase the likelihood that you will receive the full enhancement. Numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5 are simple. Does your practice have that measure in place? Will your practice report ECQM measures, and have you closed the gap by 10%? And have you met or exceeded the department's goals? As you can see, when you select your measures, and if you have met 2 through 5, the box at the top keeps track of your work. Number 6, the slider tool. This allows you to experiment with what percent your practice can close the gap if you don't think that you can hit 10%. Okay, let's mock up 10 measures and at least 190 points. We've already selected a few. Let's add some more. Diabetic foot exams, adult BMI, and here we're going to assume that we will close the gap by at least 10%. Prenatal care. Here we'll assume that we are already exceeding the department's goal. Child immunizations. And here, rather than closing the gap by 10%, let's assume we can close the gap by 4%. We'll use the slider functionality for that. You can see at the top box that we've selected 6 measures so far, so we need to select 4 more. Alcohol use screening and brief counseling, breast cancer screening. Here we'll assume that we close the gap by at least 10%. And lastly, maternal depression screening. And here we'll assume that we will be reporting the data to the department to get full credit. Looking back at the top, you'll see that we've selected 9 measures. We'll add one last one, initiation and engagement of alcohol or other drug dependency treatment. With the final measure selected, you can see that we have 10. A total possible points of 350, which is far greater than 190 points. And based off of what we assumed our performance would be, we can see that we've earned a score of 256 points. That well exceeds 190 points, and so that ensures that we'll receive an enhancement of 4%. The next step is to actually report your measures to the department. With this, you go to the survey. When you first open the survey, you will land on a basic instruction page. Let's hit next. Okay, here you will enter some basic demographic information about your practice. Let's hit next. On the next page, we'll find the measures with associated points. Using the work done in the Excel workbook, you can simply select your measures. You'll want to make sure that you select all 10 that you selected in your workbook. And that's it. Click Next and you're done with the survey, and the department will know which measures you were working on. Remember that everything you need is on our website, and you can always email us at hcpf_primarycarepaymentreform@hcpf.state.co.us. Thank you.